You have no idea how much this means to me. I've always wanted to come here as a fan, and this is my first time, so here I am as a fan. I just want to say a couple of things. I'm Andrew Garfield, and I'm going to be here.
So what happens when you get a trained Shakespearean actor play Spider-Man? He plays it the most real, the way you or I would. If you're a teenager, angry at the world, in love with the girl, getting picked on by the school bully, and then suddenly you become the strongest superhero in the world, this is how you would behave. In fact, I would be even worse. I agree with most of the internet that Tobey Maguire embodied the essence of Peter Parker and Sam Raimi, the director, and the era that it came out in. The first Spider-Man was a special movie that still holds up today. What Tobey Maguire did was a genius performance. He knew exactly how to play it, how not to overplay it, and was just right to be an authentic Peter Parker for the comics and the fans. And that's partly why Andrew Garfield's portrayal of Spider-Man was not a fan favorite. It was just too dark. It's only now when we see another person playing Spider-Man that we can appreciate the depth that Andrew Garfield gave to the character. The biggest factor about getting a trained Brit, classically trained in Shakespeare, is that he's going to give the character layers. Why? Just because. That's what he's trained 3 or 4 years in drama school for. Because he can. Because the script was likely dissected multiple times by him, delving deeper into this tortured teen's head, because he's a serious actor. And the truth is, he was a serious fan of Spider-Man. So he put a lot of work and passion into it to build someone real. He latched onto those darker issues where you see the struggle that Spider-Man goes through. The same feelings of dread, of being fed up, being lost, angry, and powerless. The same feelings that we all go through. And being able to make huge mistakes and suffer the consequences. Spider-Man is not a game. It's not a joke. When you first see Peter Parker, his body language, his facial expressions, he really is an outsider. You can see the psychology of someone being abandoned as a child and how it affects behavior and confidence. He plays the desperation to find out what happened to his parents so hard that viewers can even lose interest because they came to watch a fun action superhero movie. Not this dark, depressing, sad, messed up kid who you can actually see has a dark side. If he wasn't Peter Parker, you probably would avoid this guy. He's a bit creepy and dangerous, smart-ass kid who beats up people and kind of enjoys it. At times, he doesn't even seem to care for people, for real. Not in the nice, gentlemanly way Tobey Maguire did with the bright, colourful backdrops. Now I know if you go online, there's lots of opinions, lots of YouTube videos about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Many people have talked about it, and I get it. So I'm not trying to say the same things that other people have said. What I'm saying in this video is Andrew Garfield's world is darker, and you can feel it. In Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, Aunt May is strong, solid character that Peter Parker has in his life. In Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, Aunt May's world is completely shattered, and you feel the house is now broken, both in separate rooms, unable to deal with it. It's dark. Anyone who's ever lost anyone can relate, and they can feel the reality of standing behind a door and just dropping to your knees. This Spider-Man is shot differently. The way the camera pans around, it's not in a superhero way. It's in an observational way. It's only now as an adult that I really appreciate his performance. At the time it was released, I didn't even watch the sequel, because I felt like they'd lost the essence of Spider-Man. But in some ways they made a timeless Spider-Man movie that people like me, who were kids at the time of release, can go back and watch it. It's like it's an even newer version of Spider-Man for adults, the Spider-Man of today. You could even say it was ahead of its time because the fact is, kids like simple. Toby's a nerd who likes Kirsten Dunst. He gets bit, gets muscles, very cool. Gets to beat up the bully, drop food in his face, classic. Kisses the girl, lands a big job at the newspaper taking pictures, defeats the bad guy, and then does the slow superhero walk as the credits roll. Kids love it. Parents love this for their kids. Parents don't want to bring their kids to this, the pain of losing parents and never knowing how or why. Pain of not fitting in a real way. See an angry teen moving through the movie, fed up and lost. Tobey Maguire doesn't even hit the bully when they fight. He throws him and someone else's dessert hits his face. It's funny, but it's not real. Andrew absolutely humiliates the bully, torments him mentally as well as physically. You get a twinge of concern and you feel a little bit bad for the bully. Parents don't want to take their 10-year-olds to this pain of death, pain spilling out of you that the bully can even relate to. They don't want to see death of your first love, watching her speech that she really made for you, depressed in mourning, lost, alone, standing at the grave, mourning for Gwen. It's a 10-minute scene. Can you even imagine if they left this deleted scene in the film? Removing all the Spider-Man sequences, you would have an amazing tragedy drama on your hands. Andrew embodies this guy. I don't even want to say Peter Parker because it's not the Peter Parker that I grew up with. But as an adult, I really appreciate this Peter Parker. We see and we feel who he is from the beginning. He's a loser, a nerd type, but he doesn't play it like that, like a cliche nerd. Because why would he? He doesn't see himself as a loser or nerd. He's cool. To himself, he's cool. He's not going to embrace the nerd stereotype. And when he gets a taste of power, it takes over him. Quickly. It's his aunt that helps bring him back. His choices really do affect the people in his life. This is the only Spider-Man where the action takes a back seat to the character. And I'm not saying Tobey was bad, he did an amazing job. I'm just making a point. This Spider-Man explores real consequences. The death of Gwen, the way she dies, is so clever. The near miss, the fantasy of the superhero trait of catching the girl just in the nick of time is flipped on its head. Because even in the nick of time, the damage is done. And what Peter says is the most real thing someone could ever say. It's the need to not accept what's happened until you see her nose bleeding. And the final line, you can't quite hear the words. It's not just Andrew, it's the writing, the director. It's brilliant. Funeral scene, almost most of it deleted. But this is a scene that doesn't even seem like it belongs in the superhero franchise. If it did, the whole superhero genre would be completely different. You get 2 minutes of Peter Parker just standing at the grave, 2 full minutes of silence, just watching emotional grief, stillness, showing time passing, changing of the seasons. A lot of time is passing and he just can't move on. It says so much about what he's feeling, the pain and the regret, but the blame is overwhelming that he probably can't move on. The way the camera pans around to reveal his father, this turn, Andrew's acting is amazing.
Stay there. Stay right there. Don't move.
But I'd like to tell you a few things, if that's all right. I know that.
Making you wonder if his father has always been around, watching him, keeping an eye on him. Which makes sense. I mean, he left to protect him. There's no reason why he wouldn't keep an eye on him, to keep track. And he must have seen Peter from afar going through all this pain, that he just had to speak to him.
I don't.
What? What? Say it! Say what you want to say! What do you want to say? Where you been? You're dead!
Knowing all these years he's been away to protect him, it would have taken so much for him to come forward. You see his legs buckle slightly. This guy is incredible. And the hug, oh, it's like a grab. He's just reaching out for him. Aunt May, like I said, who is a much more sad version of Aunt May, going through so much loss herself. She carries it all, and you see it in her face, telling Peter to pack a box. See, I never understood what that meant when I watched it as a kid. It's really an adult movie. The graduation speech, the speech that he was late for, the speech that Gwen actually made for him, that ends the movie so well. Not as a kid, I had no idea what the hell was going on. But as an adult, it hits so much harder. The whole controversy surrounding dropping Andrew Garfield for the third film, who cares? If anything, it gives Andrew an air of mystery. His work stands up for itself, and it's because of his portrayal of Peter Parker that allows audiences to pick and choose which Spider-Man they prefer. Because he played it so different. It's given audiences mixed feelings. He's given them something they never would have expected from anyone, and it's opened up a whole new conversation about Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I feel like Andrew has assisted in making Peter Parker so much more than a comic character. I'm exhausted.